million students in the United States enrolled in at least one math course. The most popular of these is undoubtedly precalculus, with over 8 million students enrolled every year. That's a lot of people taking a math class, and there's no wonder why it's so popular. It's required for all STEM majors, meaning it's pretty much required for anything that has anything to do with science or technology. But even if you don't plan on studying STEM in college, you may still have to take precalculus before you can graduate. Now this brings me to a question I get asked quite often. Is there an easy way to study for precalculus? Or what's the best way to study for precalculus? Well, after teaching hundreds of thousands of students over the years, not only in precalculus, but also algebra, geometry, and other math courses, I can confidently say that there is a best way to study for precalculus. And luckily for you, it doesn't require any fancy software, expensive tutoring services, or complicated strategies. It just requires a few simple things that I'll discuss in this video. So if you're currently enrolled in a precalculus class or you're thinking about enrolling in one, stick around. This video will be incredibly valuable to you. Now real quick before we jump into the video, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. I literally upload a video every single day, 7 days a week, demystifying and simplifying math for you. So if you want to become better at math, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you're a student, whether you're in high school, college, grad school, whatever, I created something very special for you guys. It's my Study Smarter, Not Harder ebook. It is completely free, and all you have to do is click the link below and put your email address. There's no spam, just good stuff. Okay, so the first thing you need in order to study for precalculus is obviously the precalculus book. Now some of you might be like, what if I don't have a precalculus book? Well, listen, you have a ton of options. You can buy a brand new book on Amazon for probably like 150 bucks. But I would never recommend buying a brand new book. If you do, you're kind of stupid, okay? What you should do instead is go to Amazon and look for used copies of the book, because you can find them for like 20 bucks. I've done this multiple times myself. The next option you have is going to your local library and getting the book from there. Of course, if they don't have the exact edition, then you can always get a different edition. Just make sure it's by the same author. Chances are if they have one edition, they're gonna have all the editions. Or the third option you have is to simply download the ebook for free. There's plenty of websites out there where you can do this. I personally use books.org, but there's a ton of other websites out there where you can do this. So if you tell me what textbook you're using, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can download it for free. Now once you have the book, whether it's physical or digital, you need to understand that you cannot passively read the book. A lot of students think that all you have to do is open up the book, start reading, and then eventually they'll learn the material. That is probably one of the worst ways to study for precalculus. I wouldn't even call it studying. I would just call it reading for pleasure, because you're not really getting anything out of it. The way to study using a textbook is called active reading, and basically what this entails is highlighting important information, taking notes in the margins, writing out proofs and examples, doing every odd-numbered problem, just actually engaging with the material as opposed to just reading it. So if you're going through the book and you come across a proof, don't just read the proof, actually write it out. Don't just read the definition of a logarithm, write it out in your own words. Don't just read the examples, work them out. Actually engage with the material. Trust me, you're going to retain so much more information, and when it comes time to test, you'll remember everything. This leads me to my next point, which is note-taking. In order to study for precalculus, you need to take great notes, and more importantly, you need to review them. So once you finish a section or once you finish a chapter, take some time to sit down and review your notes. Make sure everything makes sense. If you have any questions, Now is the time to look back at your notes and think about what confuses you. Maybe you didn't understand something your teacher said, or maybe you were absent and you were trying to catch up. Whatever the reason is, take some time to review your notes, highlight important information, make sure everything makes sense. And another thing you can do is draw out graphs. So let's say you're learning about conic sections and you're learning about hyperbolas. Draw out a bunch of hyperbolas with different values, right? So draw out y equals x squared, y equals negative x squared, y squared equals x squared, and y squared equals negative x squared. Draw those out. See how they differ. See how they look, what their standard forms are, etc. So anytime you're learning a new concept or a new principle, draw it out or write it out in your own words. That's the best way to study for precalculus. Now, of course, there's one other component to studying for precalculus, and that's practice problems. So every time you finish a section, you need to go through and do the exercises. Now, some of you might be like, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't solve all those problems." Listen, you shouldn't be able to. If you can, you're not learning. If you're breezing through all the practice problems, then chances are you're not understanding the material. You're just memorizing procedures. So you should aim to do at least half the problems in your textbook, but preferably more than half. And you should aim to do every odd-numbered problem. I don't care what anyone else tells you, but that's what you should do. Now some of you might be thinking, "But Jason, my teacher told me to just do even-numbered problems." That's complete nonsense. Your teacher is either lazy or he doesn't know what he's talking about. Do not listen to him. Always do odd-numbered problems. And if you're having trouble with certain problems, don't just skip over them. Take your time, figure them out, watch a YouTube video, ask your teacher or your classmates. Whatever you need to do, do not skip over problems you don't understand. Now, if you found this video helpful, then please hit the like button. I literally upload a video every single day, and the only way I can keep making videos is if you guys hit the like button. So if you want me to keep making videos, please hit the like button. And if you're struggling in precalculus, then you need to check out my precalculus playlist. I have over 100 videos on there that'll help you improve your grade in precalculus. So make sure to check that out. I'm gonna leave the link below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.